तो ये एक दूसरी गेम प्ले मैं स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ। ये शर्लॉक होमलेस का शर्लॉक होम्स का शर्लॉक होम्स क्राइम्स एंड पनिशमेंट्स डिटेक्टिव वाली गेम है। पहली बार खेल रहा हूँ, देखते हैं कैसा होता है। मैंने काफ़ी मतलब गेम प्ले देखे, इसलिए मुझे अच्छा लगा, इसलिए मैं ट्राई किया खेलते हैं। मुझे अच्छी लगी, काफ़ी गेम प्ले से तो अच्छी लगी, बाकी देखते हैं अभी कैसे लगती है खेलने में। और एक सेकंड में थोड़ी इसकी ऑडियो वगैरह सेट कर लूँ, क्योंकि काफ़ी आवाज़ आ रही थी, तो मैं ऑडियो सेट कर लेता हूँ फटाक से। न्यू गेम, लेट्स। ओके, ये यूक्रेनियन में लिखा है, इन मेमोरी ऑफ द यूक्रेनियन हेवनली 100। ओके। ज़्यादा ही मतलब एपिक इंट्रो था। चलो, पहला केस का नाम है द फेट ऑफ डार्क पीटर। काला पीटर। पहले केस का नाम है ये।
Holmes! Holmes, will you stop that? You are utterly mad. Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate. Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
इतना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है ये। प्रोफाइल ऑफ द विक्टिम। Asks, investigate the murder of Peter, inspect the crime scene at Woodman's Lee, select a suit to wear using your personal wardrobe, and join Lestrade at Woodman's Lee. Bye.
I cannot leave yet. I am not finished here.
Oh, what a mess! What a...
This is where I keep my post.
वाला सब लॉक्ड पड़ा है ये बस ग्लासेस कुछ है नहीं तो दिखाई क्यों रहे हो फेशियल हेयर वाह बीट वार्डरोब पहनता जरा मॉर्निंग ये भी लॉक्ड है हमें कुछ तो दो भाई लाइट सूट ग्रे सूट ग्रीन सूट ब्राउन सूट ब्लैक सूट कैजुअल सूट इन्हें भाई अनबटन फिर हम पहनेंगे लाइट सूट चलो ये एग्जिट हो गया नाइस अभी जाते हैं इन्वेस्टिगेशन एरिया पे वुडमैन्स लोडिंग स्क्रीन नहीं है वाह ये लोडिंग स्क्रीन है कंटिन्यू क्राइम सीन पे पहुंच चुका है
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
आ रहे रुको रुको D. Concentrate your attention on finding details that others are inclined to overlook. Look around stone pathway. No, stone pathway, sorry. Examine.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Mr. Holmes?
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Mr. Holmes?
It's a key is.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Anything unusual that night?
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of...
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
When was the body found?
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's...
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock. I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and...
Oh dear. Is there a gardener?
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ...
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Did he have visitors?
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. We lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
अबे ये क्या है? What? Oh, investigation हो रही है इसके. Cameo. Catholic. Gardening gloves. Birdhouse. एक last कौन सा है? फिर last कौन सा है? Tested it. Detected it. Everything will become easier. इसका क्या मतलब है? दोबारा नहीं.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wait, what?
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Shit. Tuesday evidence that confirmed the statement. So, भाई ये क्या है? How do you know about that? Pilgrimage profile of the victim. I think
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes.
मतलब इतना सब देख के इतनी सारी information निकाल ली वहाँ भाई.
Thank you, madam.
Who could do such a thing?
करना है.
My poor husband.
मिलेगा.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
भी नहीं है यहाँ पर अभी रुको. ये बन जाएंगे.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cab.
अंदर जाएंगे.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with...
Ah, good thing.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to...
Let me see.
Scratches है.
You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Body का है. Body दिखाओ. Body. अबे भाई. क्या कौन?
What a terrible way to die.
तो घुसा डालो. ऐसे ऐसे नहीं है बॉटल से.
Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting. Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches. The tooth. This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of... An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for... Hammerfest. Hammer. Dundee. It's a whaling map.
Tobacco pouch. Rotate. क्या है मुझे दिखाओ तो सही. Tobacco.
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations.
हाँ ये क्या है ये? What? What the? ये क्या है भाई? भाई ये क्या है? तो कैसे करूँ? ऐसा है क्या? देख ऐसे ये हो गया. तो भाई क्या है ये? रोक नहीं रहा. अबे यार रोक नहीं रहा. यार ये मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा है क्या है ये. मैं स्किप कर रहा हूँ, समझ नहीं आ रहा है.
Yes, this is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
ये करना था क्या? और इतना डिफिकल्ट क्यों है? और कुछ नहीं है. भी नहीं है.
Someone drank from this glass recently. Someone... Rum. It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
मौत की ड्रिंक.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey... JHN are probably the This blood is from the pool under. This wooden handle is plain and solid. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed. The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense. This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer. Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
अब क्या हो रहा है?
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey. These abbreviations mean something, but what?
ठीक है. Find a pair of related clues and they will form deduction. Red color signifies and weapon देता. Draw a clear picture of the crime of forming and deductions from the.
Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry. The initial. The murder weapon was probably taken from this rack.
अब इसके साथ हमें वो चीज़
Well,
recreate
Mr.
करनी
Holmes,
है शायद से.
what do you think?
I think that we are lucky
And why is that?
because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oh, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you...
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
क्या करना है?
These boots don't match the footprints.
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window.
This window is locked from the inside. I do not see any attempt at a break-in. This looks like the perfect hiding place.
You can find gameplay interface instructions by pressing F1. Okay, ठीक है, thank you, bye. Reductions face icon appears each time you find a new clue. Missed an important phase in a dialogue, you can always open the casebook and check the dialogue log. अब रात हो गई, हमें उसका वेट करना है शायद से। जो बंदा डोर खोलने की कोशिश कर रहा था, हम उसको पकड़ेंगे अब शायद से। यहाँ पे उसका वेट करके।
Shh. Did you hear that?
ये तो उसकी बीवी लग रही है मुझे। नहीं, ये लड़का है, ये लड़का
There's
है।
someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there. Mr. Holmes, come and see. All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocence?
तो
And what are
करके
you
यहाँ पे
doing in
activate
his
हैं।
cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't.
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't.
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't. I'm not. It's a terrible mistake.
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful.
You are welcome, Inspector, but please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow.
वो है ही नहीं शायद, सस्पेक्ट कोई और ही है। ओके, मेरे हिसाब से इसको इतने रखते हैं क्योंकि ये पहला है, इस सीरीज़ का पहला पार्ट है, तो अभी मेरे हिसाब से इसको इतने ही रखते हैं, ठीक है। अभी ये पहला केस चल रहा है, अभी इसके बाद शायद अभी इस केस का सेकंड पार्ट भी आएगा, क्योंकि ये केस अभी ख़त्म नहीं हुआ है ब्लैक पीटर का, है ना। तो आई गेस इसका सेकंड पार्ट पे मैं इस फर्स्ट केस को मैं ख़त्म कर दूंगा इसके सेकंड पार्ट में, ठीक है, जो मैं कर डालूंगा। तो बड़ी थी गेम, हाँ अच्छी गेम है वैसे, थोड़ी सी मतलब बोरिंग लगेगी लोगों को, बट ठीक है, अच्छी है वैसे। अच्छी गेम है वैसे। चलो बाय।